Okay, hope you had a spectacular break. We're on these last few modules here, talking about monitoring and analytics, innovation and migration, a couple of pieces. Anybody have any lingering questions for anything we've talked about prior? Okay. Let's have a conversation then about what can we do to monitor and analyze what's going on with our account and about the services inside our account. Two distinct things, by the way. Sometimes you want to know what's going on with the meta about your account, and sometimes like who made a change or who logged in or who tried to log in. And sometimes you want to know about things that are going on inside the account, such as the services that have been started. Like you want performance metrics. Two different ways, like two different levels of analysis, if you will. Let's talk about one of those. So we're going to talk about monitoring approaches. We're going to talk about specifically CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and Trusted Advisor. Now, here's the thing that fits into your main. Yeah. So if you want to know about metrics, you're going to use CloudWatch. Now, if we were at the coffee shop, this could be inventory metrics. This could be performance metrics. You're going to have thresholds for these metrics, and you want these metrics to trigger alarms or actions. At the very least, you want to know what happens. Something's going on, right? This is what CloudWatch is for. CloudWatch tells you what's going on with your services. How are they performing? How's your EC2 virtual machines CPU utilization, right? How many times did that Lambda function run? What's your network throughput across a network interface, right? This is what CloudWatch and CloudWatch dashboards, and by the way, there's like 11 services underneath CloudWatch. It's got logs, it's got dashboarding, it's got container insights, it can do canary testing. There's a bunch of services under CloudWatch, but your first thought should be CloudWatch does monitoring. It does metrics, it does thresholds, it does alarms and actions. That's what CloudWatch is for. It is the metric and monitoring service for your services inside of AWS. Now, that's what's happening inside your account to the services inside the account. What about the account itself? What if you're like, someone just opened up the security group on one of my products? Who did that? When did they do it? And how do I find out? Now, if we were in the coffee shop, let's say all of a sudden magically a second shipment of coffee beans shows up in the shop and you're like, why is this here? So you go back through the records and you realize that the inventory specialist placed an order. Well, why did they place an order? Well, what happened is 3 days ago, you had a busier than usual day and you were going to run out of coffee. This is what CloudTrail is used for. CloudTrail will tell you, like in terms of like, if someone makes a change to your account or to a resource in your account, they're going to tell you what happened, who did it, when did it occur, and how was it made? Like what of the 3 ways, right? And that's really what CloudTrail is for, is it logs all of your account activity against your account. So any API call made against your account, it's going to track. So then take a guess with me. What are the things that you think you can do with CloudTrail based on these 5 options? They're just overwhelming with possibilities. So definitely B, John. So track user activity and API requests through your infrastructure. What's another one? This one's a little bit more vague, so I wouldn't be surprised if no one got this one. But the other one is that you can actually filter these logs to assist with operational analysis and troubleshooting. Like who did what, how do we track this down? That's more of a security thing, but I mean, obviously it's related to operations. So B and D, right, are what you can use CloudTrail for. Now that's the metrics repository service and then the basically API tracking service against your account. What if you needed a consultant to come in and observe your little account and then make recommendations and then allow you to implement them? Well, Amazon has a service for this. It's called Trusted Advisor. Basically allows you to receive real-time guidance in these 5 areas: cost optimization, performance, security, fault tolerance, and service limits. And if it finds a problem, it immediately sends a notification and has a finding page that you can go do the findings in. So if all of a sudden somebody triggers a security issue, it'll pop up and say, hey, I'm having a security problem. And then you can actually go track it down or fix it. By the way, you can actually make it so that like Lambda or some other service watches Trusted Advisor and responds when Trusted Advisor is like, hey, someone just opened a security group up to the world. Boom, fix it. Trusted Advisor, by the way, is only available to people who have a business support plan and above in terms of getting access to all of the checks that it provides. Now, you work for Booz, so that's easy, but your clients may not have access to Trusted Advisor depending on how they pay for support with AWS. Do note that it marks it in terms of, no issues, some issues, and severe issues. So, yeah. Now, that being said, which actions can you perform using CloudWatch? So let's do a little knowledge check. Which 2 options could you do with the metrics repository service? A and D. That's correct. Anything relating to resource usage and performance and metrics, that is going to be CloudWatch. That's what it's used for. Perfect, Aaron. Good job, John. All right, so let's see. Which service can you use to review the security of the Amazon S3 buckets by checking for open access permissions? So which of these services is going to watch for open access permissions suddenly show up and it's going to like say something about it? Now, CloudWatch is used for metrics, so we're pretty sure that's not going to be it, right? CloudTrail is going to check for API calls, so you could use that forensically later to find out who opened up the bucket. But to review the security of it, that's probably going to be Trusted Advisor, because Trusted Advisor is looking for that kind of thing. Trusted Advisor is looking for violations of security best practices. GuardDuty, by the way, is a machine learning driven tool that's looking for malicious recon and malicious attacks against your network. So Trusted Advisor is going to be the answer in this particular case. Which categories are included in the Trusted Advisor dashboard? So based on that dashboard that we were just looking at, there were 5 categories there, including service quotas, cost optimization. What were the other 2? Good. Yeah, it was performance and in this case, fault tolerance, right? Yeah, there's a third one that for some reason I forgot. Oh, security. God, how can security? Cost optimization, performance, security, fault tolerance, and service limits. There we go. All right. So here we just did a quick skim on CloudWatch, which is pretty much the only monitoring service inside of AWS. And don't get me wrong, Amazon also has managed Prometheus and managed Grafana, which together can create dashboards and metrics, especially for Kubernetes enabled systems. But CloudWatch is the place to get all your metrics. And CloudTrail is the only one that does what it does. And Trusted Advisor, you know, is definitely the only one that does like best practice application and evaluation against your account. Any questions about the metrics repository, the API logging tool, or the best practice consultant or advisor for your account? See, told you these were going to go quick, right? All right. Nope, not that. How about this? So let's stop that module.